Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Winnie and I'm going to talk about interracial relationship concept, and I'm going to talk about cultural difference, specifically in dowry payment. As an African who is planning on marrying white or someone from an interracial space, I think this is a very sensitive topic that you have to look at, because people get into the relationships and then after sometimes they're like, hey, the man I'm talking to, we've met, everything is going smooth, but he does not want to understand why he needs to pay that dowry. Like, why would you pay for dowry? Like, why would I buy you? It's like buy you according to culture. And this is the point where I do say there is it's one thing to go on like maybe a dating site or dating and meet someone, and it clicks and the connection is there, but that's not enough, because this is where we say that culture is a very important thing. And as an African who is planning on starting interracial relationship, it's very, very important that you consider this, because culture is heavy. And this is why I always say, for those who are starting, relationship, maybe for instance, I use my case, so most of the time I'll be referring to the whites and the blacks. And the whites, they do not have all this big culture thing, like very intact, right? And for us it is everything, and for you at the time where you're just in love and thinking that this connection and anything can wait, and you're just saying, yeah, because I'm going international, I'm not going to consider having my, I'm not going to consider having my parents or my family come between our love. That is stupid. So what I'm saying, before I continue ranting a lot, is before you enter into this, I always tell ladies, before you engage and meet and quickly take this man home to meet your parents in Africa, why don't you maybe first try, if you really want to do this marriage thing, why don't you just try with civil marriage and not traditional marriage? Tradition holds you back, I swear to you, and it's something you'll never want to joke with, okay? So what I would say today is, I would talk about is briefly like how, but how do you make someone who does not understand the need for paying? Because according to him, I should be paying when I am, what, when it's like a property, right? So explaining to a white man that in Africa we pay dowry and this is not purchase is going to be a very, very sensitive, serious thing. So let's go. First of all, you are not being purchased. But for you to understand this, you should only engage someone and talk about dowry negotiation with someone whom you have talked during talking stage, and ask them, what is your take about cultural difference? What do you think about culture? How much would you honor culture? I know in Western world you do not consider culture and stuff, but what is culture for you, okay? And this is why talking stage is so important. It's not about I love you too, I miss you, I miss you. Like, that is so stupid. That is something you can recite. No, nobody teaches that in school, but deep connection comes with a lot of things. So what I would say is, when you talk to someone, you listen more and you get to understand why. Sorry about the noise. So I was talking about the kind of conversation you talk to someone about. You should more or less listen than talk. And like my husband says, you have 2 years to listen twice and talk once. And when you ask somebody about their take, about even their past, about their view of culture, he'll tell you that's a stupid idea, that's something I can't do. You already know, you should be out, according to me. But when you want to make someone understand about this dowry negotiation payment, you just let them know that it is an appreciation. And I'll give you an example. When you have something like a promise ring, if you have a promise ring or a wedding ring, when they buy them, are they buying the women? That is what you would ask someone. So as you buy those flowers, show of respect, when you go and pay your in-laws visit, are you buying that love? So this is culture, and I think it should not be even on the negotiation table. It should be just something that someone who is willing to, as long as even you as a white man who is willing to go to another culture, that you should respect it. But make them understand, because they will bomber you with questions you will not be able to recover from. Someone will ask you like, just make me understand. So what are we paying for? What do you mean we can pay? Maybe by money, by animals? Are we exchanging you for cows? Just make somebody understand. And this can even be local. It doesn't have to be interracial like another race. It can be even local, like within African community. And this is something that maybe you want to consider in future. So for personally, I would give you example of my own when I met with my husband, and we. First, I'm grateful that he had traveled a lot. He's gone local, international, and so this is very, very okay for him, and he understood. And still, I asked him, "Oh, what do you think about culture?" I remember he made a joke, and I told him it's not funny. He was joking, but I told him it's not funny. So he said, "Hey," he said, "Hey, if we built your parents a house and I took you back to school, and so you build your dream, your career, and your professional life is intact, isn't that dowry payment?" That is where you have to bring up the topic of what culture is. So you also should be not going in with no open mind. Okay, let me tell you, as an African lady, as a woman, you don't really care about this. This is by default that you'll get married, they'll pay the dowry. Nobody ever questions it locally. They know this is it. So even personally thinking about it, right about up to 25 years, I wouldn't have imagined, hey, if somebody asks me why are they paying for your bride price, I'll say that is how it should be. That's culture. But why the culture? Can you explain to someone why? What is culture for someone who is in a Western world? That's what I'm talking about, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, when he made that fun, I told him it's not funny. I just wanted to put him in his place, because sometimes joke can be taken seriously, or whatever somebody is calling a joke, maybe for him he's very serious about it, right? So I told him, hey, what we do, we are not going to talk about, if you do me this and then we start cutting. And I told him, and if you want us to go that way, which is a fact, then let's consider if maybe you are having your master's degree or your degree, let's pay that bride price based on the education level, right? So if you are supposed to pay maybe 2 million Kenyan shillings, and for a lady who studied till primary school or high school, then I think we should talk about 10 million, and then you deduct what you've done. And he's so but yeah, I tried to make him understand, because I didn't want it to be like someone asking me as a joke, and then turns out he meant it. That when you take, someone telling, anyway, but I'm going to use all the visa money to bring you abroad or bring you to Europe, then I don't deserve to pay the price, because that is how it is. And when you go to people's place, you just have to respect it, and that is it. And sometimes you can tell them, I don't think I have specific reason as to why I can do this. I don't have specific reason as why you should do it. Just give and take. Maybe you can do that. Just give and take would be good. Yeah. What do you think about that? So anyway, what I wanted to say is, make someone who knows your worth, your value, and who knows why they should pay for this thing. Then they should do so. Ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for listening to me. I am still trying to find, I will do a part 2 to find out the best way to explain in details. If you have questions about dowry payment and what price, do you even know, someone dating interracial, the specific price of dowry that you should pay for a certain age or level, or how much? But that is about culture, and it's different. But it's all about appreciation, just the very way you feel. Like if this man married from his culture, then he'll take flowers, he might buy a bouquet and appreciate. This is an appreciation, and it's culture. And if you're blending it, if this is what you want, you are in. If you don't want to, don't tell me that we are going to negotiate our visa and exchange it to culture. It doesn't work like that, because I'm not even the one who is taking this. Yeah. And if it's heavy for you, it's okay, you can leave. Shoo. I mean, you can't afford, then what? Just stay out of the goddamn thing. Okay, enough of the ranting. I hope you're fine. Thank you for listening to me. I catch you in the next episode. Till then, ciao.